I'm Randy Horton. We are coming to you from the LSX World Congress at the Boston Convention Center. Orthogonal has this theory it's obvious, you can't attend every convention. And even if you can't meet every interesting person at convention. So what we try to do is come to these conferences and curate a list of really interesting conversations with people who have good points to make and things to teach us. So we'll get you that in the next 5 to 6 minutes, let's say. So we're here today with Jenny Barba from Features Capital, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Randy. Glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about Features Capital. What do you all do in investing?
Sure. Thanks for asking. Features Capital is an early stage MedTech venture capital firm. We invest at the seed, Series A, and Series B stages of companies, really at the first in human or first in revenue stage of development to really support the companies to not only be capital efficient to achieve their milestones, but to really focus on getting the right team together, the right support to bring products to market to, at the end of the day, save hundreds of millions of lives. And with that, the types of companies that we invest in, MedTech is a broad category. We're investing in surgical tools, systems that are implantables that go on or in the body, biosensors, and really taking things from a multi-day hospital stay to possibly a single-day procedure at home monitoring, and the holy grail, which would be prevention.
Prevention.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had like a device that would allow a heart transplant from a hospital at home, that would be
Oh,
a
yeah.
step forward.
Have you met any?
I have not, and
Okay.
I would be a little suspicious, but conceptually, that's where we're going.
Yes, yes.
Very good. Okay, and tell us about you and how you got into this world.
Sure. I've been in the MedTech space since 1999. Originally, I was a neuroscientist studying Parkinson's disease, the immunohistochemistry bench research. And I just always thought there has to be a better way to get solutions and therapies and products to the patients and their caregivers and the clinicians. And I pivoted and went into the finance side of healthcare. Been in it since 1999, always working with founders, entrepreneurs, teams, and boards on connecting to capital. So to private capital, the private markets, venture capital, growth capital, and also to the public markets. And I had wonderful stints at firms such as Hambrecht & Quist, Piper Jaffray, Marsh & McLennan, and a private fund in Boston, and started Features Capital in 2023 to invest in companies that we believe are the future of MedTech.
Got it. Could you give us an example of a company in your portfolio that you think illustrates why you started this firm?
Yes. So there's a company called Laplace Interventional, headquartered in Plymouth, Minnesota.
Okay.
Laplace is developing and is in clinic right now with their tricuspid heart valve replacement system, fully transcatheter system. When we met the company, they were still in animal studies, prototype design work. They wanted to accelerate and get into first in human in the United States.
Sure.
And we led the Series B and then participated in the Series C. And they've now gone through their EFS study in the United States. And they should be sharing some data at potentially at the TCT conference or the next big valve conferences. So definitely one to watch.
Okay, great. So we wanted to talk to you about today was this interesting evolving relationship between the world of MedTech, where sort of the importance of software and AI is growing, and the behemoth world of big tech, where a lot of these things are coming out of. And like every other industry, MedTech is trying to mediate. How do we take advantage of what these other worlds have to do, which are new and very different than us, without, I guess I would say, Facebooked, Amazoned, or Googled by them in the process?
Yeah.
As an investor, you probably have a pretty interesting view of strategic decisions that MedTech companies should be making around this. So how do you look at that if a company's coming to you and they have a software AI play? You look at like, how much are they just a little thing in MedTech as opposed to how much are they aligning themselves or lining up with larger trends or companies?
Yeah. The one thing, having been in the industry for as long as our gray hair tells us, it's really, you can really tell the types of founders who are the healthcare focused first founders who are then also partnering with big tech. And a lot of the big tech has healthcare teams, healthcare experts, relationships in healthcare, but it might not be their primary focus. But I just feel like right now, there's never been a better time to invest in MedTech because of these collaborations, because of the convergence with big tech. For example, we invested in a company called BioLink, headquartered in San Diego, which has multiple partnerships with big tech, investors who are big tech. And you look at their product and it's cool and trendy. It looks like big tech, but it really is also the MedTech fundamentals behind it to bring a technology in the biosensor space to market to work with diabetes patients, obesity, metabolic disease, and many others. Those partnerships are things that big tech is craving. Big tech knows that these are mega markets, multi-billion-dollar markets, and they don't have the skills or capabilities to do this. And so there's a reverse flow of need from big tech to actually partner with med tech to be able to access these markets that they otherwise wouldn't have.
That's interesting. So let's dive in on it a bit. So if you're a med tech company and you think that partnering with the tech world, basically Southern California partners with Northern California.
Yeah. That's a funny concept. Having lived in Northern California.
They are on two different planets. You need a passport to go between them.
Yeah.
What are the elements of success? What are the best practices if you're in med tech trying to do this? And what are some worst practices? We've seen this definitely doesn't work.
Yeah. Alignment, teamwork, conversations, setting goals. What is the focus? Is it just to grab data and use that data for the tech platform? That might not be the best type of partnership. But if it's really to collaborate, get the engineering teams together, understand, we could manufacture this at this rate, at this cost, at this speed, and use our next gen chips and fab manufacturers, like that will leapfrog the standard today. And so it's really the alignment. It's not always dollars. Dollars are great and helpful, and big tech has way more dollars to invest than the med tech investors. But I do think this wave it's here. It's here to stay. In terms of things to stay away from or risks, maybe time to market is a different ballgame for these companies where big tech, you're used to like rolling things out to customers in a much shorter time frame than med tech. We have regulatory, we have clinical, we have manufacturing. And big tech can help us increase the speed of each of those steps, but those are fundamentally regimented and critical to our ethical standards as a medical and healthcare industry.
Right. As we say, it's the, would you put this medical device in your mother?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or your child. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. How are you seeing the companies you're investing in? What are the elements of the successful ones in terms of developing good sort of strategies and execution around regulatory and quality as it relates to software and AI? What are the good signs for you when somebody's pitching you?
You can tell right away when you're meeting with the founder if they're already integrating this in their teams, in their workflow, in their patient selection criteria, in terms of thinking, okay, we need these types of centers, we need these types of doctors, we need to access these patients. You can tell that it's already innate in their DNA of a company and building a company, or they know that they're lacking it. And so they go, okay, I need help with this and I need the right team or outsourced experts. I do think that this next wave of founders, it's kind of like children knowing how to type before they can write these days. I think engineers coming out of engineering school, it's just part of how they think.
So generationally, you see a shift of just natural comfort.
Yeah. I have seen some repeat executives or repeat founders who have embraced AI and ML, and we use a lot of it in our firm. My co-founder is a biomedical engineer, and in his free time, he's always creating algorithms, and I think he put his first interface in a system. And
it's funny because you can have gray hairs who are quite tech sophisticated, and you can also have young people who are curmudgeons.
Yeah.
Luddite curmudgeons, you know.
Yes.
It's not exclusively an age thing.
Yes.
What advice do you have to early venture companies that are looking to get off the ground in terms of how do you address this, or how do you, if you don't know what you don't know on this, let's assume you're not really sophisticated about regulatory, or you're not really sophisticated about software, conceptually how software can help. How do you get that? What's the best way to get that capability into your organization at the right time?
There's so many great innovation hubs right now in MedTech that have honestly, they've taken off just in the past 5 years. It used to be maybe just a couple big names on the coast. But now we spend a lot of time early with innovation hubs, mentoring, coaching, being sounding boards I would recommend for founders to form a peer group, either in their disease space or in their region. There's great resources, talking to people, and maybe they don't need to bring someone in-house. There's terrific consultants or people who like to mentor in this space, advisors, and just constantly learning. And in terms of other resources, specifically for like regulatory experts, going to conferences like LSX, other conferences like the MedTech conference in San Diego coming up, that's where you network and you say, oh, this is my problem I've been working on it. The next thing you know, like you're at a dinner with somebody and they go, oh, I just had that same issue. Here's what you do. Meet this person. Yeah. And so it's getting out of your box, getting out of your comfort zone. We see a lot of engineer founders, not just engineers, but first-time founders who really have built support systems around them, and that helps them.
So it's a very external view of the world as opposed to an insular view.
Yes.
Just get out there and learn and talk to people.
Yes.
Got it. Are there you want to name drop any particular watering holes that you're fond of these days?
Oh, in terms of innovation hubs?
Yeah, innovation hubs, or places.
Restaurants, or...
Let's talk more about other places where good people convene that they should be at. What is an example of an innovation hub that's relatively new that you think is a good place?
Yes, so we've actually spent a lot of time recently with Texas Medical Center. Our next deal is a company that was incubated there internally within J Labs and Texas Medical Center Innovation. Emily Reiser runs a program there, and they have their finger on many touch points. And I love that they're integrated and partner with the different hospitals in Houston. So we spent time there. Was recently at the Mayo Clinic, and it's just integrated in their DNA in terms of like innovation. So we spend time all over the country and also a little bit internationally, not just in the big tech hubs. Of course, we get deals from there as well. And I think the great thing now is like, because people are virtual, we can share experiences, but it is nice to have a hub where there's that support.
Yeah, like human to human contact.
Yes. This is manufacturing. This is engineering. These are tools. There is a in-person human component. So, yeah.
All right. What are you looking to get out of the conference while you're here? Or what have you gotten out of it so far?
Obviously meeting people like you. I was on an amazing panel this morning, talking about big tech and brain-computer interface. And two of the companies there, one works with one of our companies, Resonant Link. So there'll be a write-up hopefully on that, but just networking and meeting a lot of great people.
Great. Thanks so much for coming out here.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the conference.
You too. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. We'll catch you again in San Diego.
I love it.